Hey, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving. Welcome to our Thursday evening devotions coming to you this week on Friday. I'm Pastor Matthew, and I'm glad to be with you. I hope that yesterday was a day that put you into all of the feelings of gratitude and thanks for all that God gives us. I was thinking about those gatherings, Thanksgiving, and it got me thinking about a book that I had on my shelf and haven't read. And 3 people in the past 2 weeks have mentioned it to me. So it came off of the shelf and ended up on my desk where I still haven't read it. But it came from a TED Talk by Priya Parker on the art of gathering. Priya Parker is a conflict management consultant. So she comes into organizations who are going through conflict and helps them find a way forward through really intentionally crafted gatherings. And it got me thinking about Thanksgiving and the way that we often go into these holidays without a lack of intention. So I want you to think back yesterday on your Thanksgiving day. What pieces did you fall into the same way that we've always done? And maybe that was perfect and wonderful, or maybe you wish that it happened differently. Maybe there was a conversation with a certain uncle that didn't go the way that you hoped it would. Maybe there was that cousin who never quite sees eye to eye. Or maybe the day just didn't sit in the same way that you hoped it to. Well, I want you to think about the next gathering. Maybe it doesn't have the stakes of Thanksgiving, those high stakes of meeting the expectations and needs of everybody gathered, but maybe it's coffee with an old friend. And I want you to take one of the tips from Priya Parker's TED Talk. Go and watch it in full if you want, or get her book. It's really quite interesting once I actually read through it. And learn about how actually taking tangible steps and tweaking how we gather can influence how we meet other people. Priya Parker tells the story of a baby shower. That the mother in particular didn't want a typical baby shower, so she crafted something really intentional and specific. She invited a group of mothers around to tell her in detail about birth because she was so afraid of the birth. She then had her husband come and make promises and vows to her about holding their marriage in focus, even as they move into this new phase in life. And then each step of this gathering was so different than any baby shower that I have ever been part of. But I want you to think about that next gathering that you're going to attend or lead. And think about one intentional thing that you might do differently. I'm going to think about the coffee that I have set up next week. And I'm going to start this coffee, not in the typical way of how are you, but what's one thing in your life that is going abundantly well? I'm just going to start in that space. What is one thing in your life that you are super excited about? I want to hear about it and celebrate it with you. Maybe there's one way that you can tweak a gathering, a meeting with a supervisor, a meeting with the child's teacher. It could be a family dinner. What's one way that you can just tweak it with an intentional choice to make it slightly different? But know that in all of our choices, that God is a God who meets us in our gatherings. The story of Scripture is filled with examples of God gathering people in our ways of being together. And each of those we trust and know that the Spirit is present in them. So go, gather, be gathered, because God, our God, is a gathering God. So give thanks for the gatherings that you've been part of, and give thanks for the gatherings that might be. Good to be with you all tonight. See you next time.